Welcome back everyone here on the next episode on Idea Seed Africa. So guys, we are here on the rooftop of the CcHub. The CcHub is one of the most important places to be in the startup ecosystem. It's very, very famous because 2016 Mark Zuckerberg visited the CcHub and is one of the biggest investors. This is where many success stories had their beginning. We're featuring a new startup today, talking about e-commerce, about distribution, about... Oops, that was my bag. I'm going to interview Fieldinsight, a startup that is into collecting and analyzing data within the distribution process. Talking about data that you might, as a company, need. You will definitely learn more about the importance of tech in distribution. We will talk about how do corporates actually adopt new technologies like these and how does it actually work at the moment. I guess there might be some investors and other people out there who are interested in getting to know how is logistics here in a city like Lagos with these traffic conditions. Something very interesting. There is a lot of growth in this sector, so that's why we definitely need to talk about that. So, Lanre.
Hi.
Fieldinsight. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about e-commerce, right? E-commerce is very important and growing in Nigeria. There's still potential and opportunities in the market.
Significant.
So, starting with that, how do you estimate the current situation in the market when it comes to e-commerce and everything that is related to that?
I think e-commerce compared to the potential is very low.
Yeah.
Extremely low because there are significant challenges along the way that are being overcome.
Yeah.
You know, there's still a lot of education and adoption that has to go on. Then there's all the infrastructure that has to be built for e-commerce to run successfully.
Yes.
So we're starting to build out the payment side. So you have people like Paystack, Flutterwave, and the different payment companies.
Payment systems.
But then you now start talking about the fulfillment and
Yeah.
then fulfillment and moving of the actual physical things all across Nigeria and then building out that infrastructure. There are a couple of us that are working on that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And this is actually why we're talking about Fieldinsight today, right? When it comes to moving around in Lagos, moving goods, there are some struggles. Traffic is always a thing. How does it actually work at the moment? What are the biggest problems that you see, and what was the reason for founding Fieldinsight?
Sure. So the biggest problems we see is really not coordination.
Yeah.
There's a gap.
Yeah.
Right? The information is not coming when it should come.
Yeah.
It's not data, it's not actionable, it's not insights, right? There's nothing smart about it.
Yeah.
It's just raw.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's in different silos. So that causes, say, low utilization of different assets and different actors.
I see.
Right? That's one side. The other thing is a lot of people are informal. There's a lot of informal and not structured or not recorded anywhere. So they can't grow. They can't access credit. They can't get access to terms. They can't get into a formal network because they are informal. Because nobody knows these things are happening. Which is why Fieldinsight came into being.
Okay, so market growth. Talking about market growth, where do you see yourself within the next years? What is your role? Where's your place?
Okay, so our place is the system or the platform for all these activities that are going on in consumer goods in Africa, for them to happen on us.
Okay.
Right? That's where we see it, because in 2019, $900 billion is spent across Africa on fast-moving consumer goods.
Wow.
85% of these sales are in open-air markets.
Yeah.
Manual. Paper.
Yeah.
People don't know what's going on. People don't know how it's going on. We are trying to organize that.
Yeah.
And this is growing to 1.5 trillion in another 5 years. So in Africa.
Mind-blowing numbers,
Mind-blowing numbers,
Yeah.
mind-blowing growth,
Yeah.
and a mind-blowing opportunity to organize a fragmented sector.
Yes.
Still, hypermarkets, all these modern trade are growing, but they're still not going to be the chunk.
Yeah.
The chunk is still going to be this informal markets and being able to build out the infrastructure to organize all that.
Coming back to your initial problem, the history of Fieldinsight. It's been 3 years, right? What were the first problems that you actually saw? And is it the same problem that you are seeing at the moment out there in the market and trying to solve? Is there a change that happened?
So, first problem we saw was around movement of vehicles and utilization of vehicles, which is how do you manage the actual delivery of the goods? The smaller subset of the main problems.
I see.
But when we step back and talk to a couple more customers and potential customers, realize that the problem was a bigger problem, more like all the actors.
Okay.
Right? There's no operating system or connective tissue that allows things to be smarter.
Within logistics?
We call it the distribution chain, right? Which is, so your supply chain, you have your outbound or your distribution piece of things. Within distribution, there was nothing. Right? There were point solutions. Somebody wants to do something for distributors, okay. Somebody wants to do something for payments, okay. Somebody wants to do something for logistics. But there was nothing that was an end-to-end.
Okay.
Pulling things together.
Talking about end-to-end, right? Logistics, distribution. Within that whole process, what do you cover? What is the benefit actually for?
Sure. First one is just technology, or technology alone, which is software as a service, right? If you're a company or you're an individual or SME or large organization, you want to know, for example, who your customers are or potential customers, where they are, what they do and why they do what they do. We call that market insight, right? Which is like the market research piece of things. That's the first part. The next part is, now you know who your customers and potential customers are. How do you get them to order more from you?
Okay.
How do you get them to reorder? How do you get them to do smart?
And you not only collect these data, you process them, you analyze them, is that right? And
yes,
you
real time.
Okay, real time.
Real time.
Oh, okay,
right?
I see.
Then next, of course, in Africa and Nigeria, over 90% of orders you must pay before you get the goods, right? Credit is very small, right? So payment is the next process because you must pay for the goods before you get access to those goods. And the final piece is the delivery of the logistics of the goods or services getting to you. And you know, there's an infrastructure deficit in Nigeria, right? Which we are all overcoming. But at the end, these goods must get from here to there into somebody's hands before the entire chain is complete.
Absolutely. So, but there's also one special thing about it, right? It's a cloud service, basically. But not everywhere in Nigeria, especially in rural areas, there are internet issues.
Oh, significant.
Right?
So, significant. Like, so because we're on ground, because we have context, local context, our solution is built offline first, meaning everything can happen offline. When you now get to a place that has connectivity, it syncs all that information. Other solutions that are for other markets are built because with the way those other markets work. They're built assuming constant internet connectivity. They're built assuming that there's 3G, right, and things like that. That's not the reality in Nigeria. Once you get out of Lagos, 80% of the time you are offline or you are in almost offline connection.
Did you have any struggles with getting first customers and also corporates?
Oh, definitely, because especially when you're a software business or technology-led business, a lot of them always ask for, let's say, changes or adaptations to their specific needs, and which is where you, as much as you're being a customer focused, you have to be ready now to say no when it gets to a particular level, and you have to be able to be, will I say, diplomatic, such that saying no doesn't kill the relationship or doesn't harm the relationship. That's number one. But the other thing is, you also have to become sticky enough and important enough in what they're doing that they say, hey, okay, we're getting XYZ value. Even if we don't have ABC value of the things that we're looking for, we can work with this. And that has taken time to build up, right? It was a learning experience to get there.
The thing is, I believe that the adoption of new technologies like yours might be an issue for companies, especially corporates in Nigeria. How is your experience with that?
No, that's a good point. The adoption, we're still up and coming on the maturity scale in terms of, number one, adopting technology in real sector industries like this, but number two, in terms of adopting cloud. So there are layers, right? Which is why we, having done the technology and looked at where we're sticky and the problems we're solving, have now backward integrated into doing the operations also. Because it's stickier. It allows, it's an acquisition strategy that gets us into these accounts, gets them used to seeing and getting visibility that they weren't getting before. And now when you say, okay, hey, you need more users for this, blah, 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 it's open and shut. It's already proven.
I'm done already here from my side. No more questions. That was fulfilling and interesting. We'll definitely see more of these guys. All right, thank you very
again.
much, Lars.
Cheers,
guys, thank you very much for watching this.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. You know how it works. hit the subscribe button down there. Follow me on Instagram. You know how to find me. I'll put it here somewhere. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. How do I get this kind of beard, Marcus?
Oh, the beard question.
Mine is up and coming.
I get a lot of compliments for my beard. It's a hard and long process. Yeah. If you have a beard, you have to go crazy about your beard. I am here at the CcHub. This is Nonray.
Hello. We hope that this is technology.
See you guys next time. Bye bye.